Then you're in shot.
The thing people do for an angle, hey?
We've been filming for about 10 days now, and you fought us every step of the way, so I'd like to know why you didn't want to make this film in the first place.
Oh, am I on now?
Yeah.
Oh, jolly good. Well, I'm here to explain my snobbishness about being filmed while I'm working. And here you have the reason for it. It's this kind of behavior that you don't want going on in a recording studio when you're trying to make a record. It does rather divide your attention, you know.
Shares that indignation. He's sticking firmly to socialist principles. London for a foreign correspondent.
I don't want to talk to me, but I'm leaving it, leaving it up to you. Have to leave.
I like accidents, I like mistakes. It gets the wheel going around.
What's your motivation for doing music? Maybe by asking this question, which is one of the things that we're trying to avoid, like, so this isn't like sort of, I ask you what your life philosophy is, you tell me, we then cut that into...
Because I don't think I'm going to give you a straight answer. I think you're going to find it by the by.
But
there's a great deal of an impersonator around most of the time. A trickster.
A little bit.
Yes, the Chinese envoy was here. The Chinese envoy was here. Call me out, my name is Cale. I come from Wales. That's where I'm best.
I was standing in the front, and of course, I don't know, I saw John Cale in Paradiso maybe
5 years ago.
I don't know, 5 years ago, and it used to be an explosion of feelings that came from the stage. So what I experienced then was that he had a spell on the audience, and it wasn't similar in no way. So I've had a very strong feeling of disappointment. Like, I mean, I didn't go away because I was with other people, but when I would have been on my own, I would have walked out.
On the other hand, he was called back 4 times. Is that nostalgia, or is that what is that?
I think it was really the hardcore fans who were all recognizing the music from the 70s.
Right.
Because those were the days.
It's too normal, like, so it doesn't touch you anymore.
What now should he do?
In general, an artist is someone who can amaze me. And then when it doesn't amaze me anymore, he is a sort of retired artist.
So he should go in a completely new direction, forget about the old songs.
Yeah, maybe does he still want to take the risk?
It's not very realistic maybe, because a lot of people, you actually accept the old stuff they do. But from him, because once you thought, oh man, this guy's very special, you want him to be special all the way through.
Let's go to Moscow. Let's go, let's go, let's go to Moscow.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Moscow. Before leaving the aircraft, will you please make sure that you collect all your hand luggage and be careful to take the luggage in case any heavy item falls out and causes injury.
I know how to stop it. I press red.
Yeah, press red and then press that top button to turn it all off. And let me know when you're done, so I'll come and get the battery out and charge it.
What's remarkable that's happened to the score is that it's got a very strong life of its own. It's the drama of the whole piece. Some textured ideas that turn on their heads. Death. What I don't want the piece to be is a piece of a very attractive, see you later.
The idea that we had was to have a general miking and to have a specific miking at the same time. I wanted to explain to him about at the beginning of each piece that I would for overdubbing, that I would do something like 1, 2, 3.
Окей, это прижек. Dos tactos.
Two bars, yeah, 2 bars, yeah. Okay. should be yeah, molto legato. Yeah, yeah.
Shall we take a break for lunch?
Do me a favour and stop filming for a bit.
This is ridiculous. John called me in Ireland. He called me 6 or 7 weeks ago, said, I'm going to Russia with Brian Eno to do a record. And he was looking for someone to do a documentary. I said, right, has Brian agreed to do this? He said, yes.
Well,
it should have been, but... And he always says no.
Yeah. I was never asked to be in a film or anything, you know.
You were never asked by John?
never even... No, John mentioned that he wanted to do some filming and thing, but he didn't...
This is ridiculous.
As soon as I notice you, you have to switch off.
If sometime I just leave the camera and go.
I think it would be an idea if you set the camera up in that room.
I think I have to get back now because they're waiting for me to start. I'm sorry, but maybe you can carry on this time.
You mind being filmed?
I'm worse than Brian.
Oh, really? But
are we going for dinner tonight?
Just about embarrassed.
I know that if a camera's pointing at me, I'm not behaving normally. What happens with a camera around is that I censor my own behaviour. And I censor exactly the parts of it that are likely to lead to something interesting.
Where it's at hands, you said I could film hands and feet.
Yeah, no, I'm quite happy with hands and feet. They don't get self-conscious.
Yeah.
That's all right. Incognito hands.
Okay, here's to John. Who got us into this mess in the first place. What? More about it? What more can there be?
Rob's very American, Brian's very English.
Yeah, okay, David, I can understand where he's coming from, but if he's going to stop us from filming the very thing we came here to do, then that has to be part of the film, plus we got to find some new stuff to film. We're going to have to.
He's selling a watch. It's $20 for a military watch. But if you just want to casually do this under your arm, we're in the toilets, man, against the urinal discussing this watch.
Boa noite, foi Carlos.
Ты не сказал, Фредди? Нет. То овощи, $35. How much is it, 20?
The daylight.
Let's do this Cecil B. DeMille.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
In tourist Sevastopol, hotel.
Yes, I have in tourist, yeah. Right.
In tourist?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to try it and do military jacket and do
shoes?
One sneakers.
Military jacket. What type you have? I mean, like a big coat, like?
I know. Give me, please.
What? You have vodka.
And do вечер.
Which?
Вечер.
Вечер?
Вечер или утро?
Lutra. Don't understand.
And do вечер and do вечер.
Nature.
Nature.
Nature. You say nature?
And you?
Human nature.
And you? Nature. Nature.
Nature. I don't understand the nature. I don't understand the word.
В партитуре нет аккордеона здесь. Может быть, ему не играть?
There's no accordion in the score.
I know, but the part is right.
Вот эта часть, которая играет аккордеон, она правильна.
It's this top out here.
Чистый бемоль мажор, да?
I'm going to go out and explain that. So that part there is...
Быстрее, здесь просто идет.
Yeah.
Ad libitum.
Ad libitum. Ad libitum. So like...
Окей, пожалуйста, прошу, можно.
Let's get this second.
Володя, послушай внимательно. Ты каждый такт, ты что там играешь? Ты должен играть от либитум. Ну-ка, играй, смотри на меня, смотри, не надо, говорить буду я. Значит, играй. Ты смотри на палец. Трель.
If we don't get it with this one, I think we'll just leave it and do it with Jack in London.
Давай, начинай.
The Achilles heel of the music at the moment. It's the timing between the verses. The timing has been set up so far so that there's an element of surprise in when they occur, and you've got to set up that element of surprise.
The brass are off in a world of their own. They don't follow his beat. Yes, I want them to interrupt what's going on here.
So that's fine by me, but you're committed to that. So if you...
I don't want to commit myself because it's gonna get irregular.
Yeah.
Let's do it after.
Okay.
Yeah, overdub.
Il quiera recordar,
Después,
registrar después.
Después, ok.
Sí.
I'm getting emotional. Yes, yes.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
Yes.
Come on, what the fuck are they doing?
This pram, that pram was in Potemkin.
That's
the very one. That's the pram that was in Potemkin. It's got dynamite in it. It's about to go off.
John, it could be the commie. Baby boom.
Baby boom.
Get in.
What's the Manchurian equivalent of a Chinese fire drill? When we get there, I think what
We're going to hook up, we're going to start rolling, and somebody's going to pick up some lights and try and set them up.
That's right. But we got to go with sun gun until then.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
We'll go right up the stairs with a sun gun.
Sure.
Okay.
Because I'll go with Oleg. You come up, and John. Okay.
Yeah. John, just hang with us.
You play
we want to
defense.
get your entrance, even if Brian goes up first.
Well,
we want to
he's
photograph
not
you
very
going.
good at running. Okay.
Right here. Yeah.
We need a sun gun up and running.
Hi. I enjoy your music. Sounds very American.
Proletarian jazz.
Proletarian jazz.
Жаль, хотелось бы, чтобы это звучало очень по-русски.
That's too bad because you want it to sound really Russian.
What about Glasnost?
Гласность. Что вы думаете про гласность, да? Ну, про гласность мы привыкли думать вслух. Blind, blind.
Потому что нет никого сейчас. Окей, vamos.
или все вместе останавливаются?
Тогда надо
Надо, чтобы
сделать,
все вместе.
тогда нужно таким образом. Я просто делаю ферматную ноту.
Listen to this tape.
Such subtle things to play with. Oh, play together, lads. The silliest thing, and you can't do it. They're just losing interest in it.
Who is that? Get out.
Tell the cameraman to get out, will you?
Закрыть двери, никакого, пожалуйста, постороннего шума, нам нужна полная тишина.
I'm giving such a hit.
Okay, the KGB is listening.
Let me turn this thing off.
Alexander, ahora todo es okay.
Okay. Thanks, I'm sorry.
Lunch break.
Не часто приходится встречаться с такого рода партитурой.
Is the music innovative? Is it something new, something that looks forward?
Музыка, гениальная музыка, так сказать, получается не с помощью огромного количества нот, а наоборот, с помощью их экономии. И в этом плане выразительные средства партитуры меня, безусловно, подкупили. Но если мы говорим, вы хотите услышать мою точку зрения, так сказать, как эта перестройка отражается в музыкальных коллективах, я считаю, что единственная форма абсолютной монархии в мире сохранилась, настоящая, в полном смысле этого слова, сохранилась за дирижерским пультом. Я всегда требую, чтобы они были сильные, приходили в студию сильные и влюбленные в музыку и в дирижер. Но как только они вышли из студии, они могут ненавидеть. Это, мне кажется, вот это и есть демократия.
I think this democracy.
Yes.
Крым, Арамага.
The first result of our great changes in the history of our country is that Brian Eno and John Cale are recorded in the State Studio in Moscow, because you must know that Velvet Underground and especially Andy Warhol, they had a very bad reputation in Russia because they were real modern artists. And if our State Studio is glad to have this recording, this is the best example of
Just the fact that they were
perestroika,
there.
yes.
Have you actually met? Now, this is John Cale. And this is, these are Sasha and Peter.
Sasha.
Sasha.
Nice to meet
Yes,
you.
how are you?
В моем дому завелось такое.
Last summer we played a big two big concerts on the stadium in Belarus, and after that, the KGB of Belarus sent a big, aggressive letter to Moscow officials that they mustn't send such bands as Zvuki Mu and Brigada to Belarus. That they doesn't want such kind of music.
Is your music intended in some way to be political?
Politica? No, we just write a song about simple life. If you are honest man, you are always, I mean, against some political systems. Shit, say.
Кошмар! Иметь хорошего педагога еще со связями тоже, который хотя бы... То есть у нас очень много, надо сказать, что у нас бюрократия, в общем, и здесь, вот в нашей, так сказать, среде.
And she also said that since she is a lady, she is supposed to have children, to have a family, which is not very much liked by conductors and by the management.
Really?
At all.
But do you have examples of great women soloists?
Ну то Школьникова.
For example, Nelly
Школьникова.
Школьникова.
But she in Australia, по-моему. Она уже уехала в Австралию.
We had one. Her name is Nelly Shkolnikova, but she has emigrated to Australia.
Ah, really? So she has better opportunity in the West?
Yes.
Russia is the country of avant-garde experiments. And I think that it is really the country of avant-garde experiments because the whole world dreamed about the ideal social life. And only in this country there were crazy persons who decided to do this.
They were great idealists.
And
of course, really.
And inspired many others, like in Cambodia and Vietnam.
I understand it very well. But I think that we must laugh, not you. because it is too easy to laugh in your situation, and it is too hard to laugh in our situation. You must know that in this country, rock was forbidden, and avant-garde was forbidden too. At that time, before Perestroika, all the art which was very social and which was connected with the dissident culture, and at that time it was the real art, and it was the best art in our country. And now this art isn't interesting.
What are the next limitations going to be?
When we have no limits in art, the only limit is the soul of artist.
What did you ask him to do? When?
I didn't. I sort of wondered if I could. You know, he does these. It's the Paganini caprices on the bass that are ferociously difficult even for a fiddle player to play.
What is the name of this piece?
Rodion. Rodion.
Rodion.
That's a wonderful bass he's got. It looks like he's been floating in the Moscow River with it.
Wants to listen.
This piece. This is a premiere. It's his piece. His own piece. He composed it.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you very much. that's one. Have we got enough there?
The thing is, I still think this doesn't have much to do with this poem, that's the only thing. Because this sort of beat doesn't have to have blue notes like jazz does, but that sort of smoky pace.
In this workers' paradise, we have many recording studios. Oh, we've got to teach this. They're already on.
John, he asks what kind of melody you want.
No melody.
Yes. What kind of
harmonic?
Yes. Or in which register of instrument?
Very high.
Very high.
Very high.
He doesn't need the notes. He does need the notes, so keep going.
I think what we're going to do is go from when the voice starts.
Okay.
Go from when the voice starts. Ask him to play simple harmonics in between the verses.
Keep asking.
Right. Please.
All I want to do is to get him loosened up, not stuck onto one idea, but to find something he likes to play. All right. Same thing.
Но им нужен еще один вариант этого же исполнения.
Sorry.
I don't know how to control it.
He's just got into something at the end.
Hmm?
He just got into something at the end there. Can you say, oh, have we lost the translation?
Yes.
I'll tell you what.
There's some good places in this. We're doing this again. Okay?
There's a bullet with your name on it. Brian Bullet.
So this is the last track, all right? This is the very last track we want to do. Promise. For a solo, okay?
Что, ну соло
No. Bow. Arca. Harmonic.
Гармоник. Есть.
Like a wild, crazy, wild solo.
Нечто сумасшедшее такое, дикое.
Wounded puma.
Ветер.
A wounded mountain lion.
Нет, не ветер. Они хотят животное. Скулёж такой, как животное, которое мать потеряла, которое детеныш.
Волка.
This is something like wolf.
Yes.
wolf.
Yes,
A wounded
yes,
wolf.
like
That's
that.
it.
Yes.
Now, this is where we want you to play. Sasha, please,
Yes.
just stay.
He says that
Push on
he
ship
thinks
out.
he bought something.
Yeah, he doesn't want to count.
He's not,
You
he
count.
doesn't know.
You count.
Да, он покажет.
All right, I'm not gonna go away.
Okay, track 14, please.
I'm buying my enemies to sell my friends. I'm buying my friends to sell my enemies. In the year of the patriot, the traitor is king, and the genie's out of the bottle. I must say that what you have here in this orchestra with the conductor and the ensemble is something very special, and it's a spectacular benefit for me when I'm making this record, and I hope that we meet again. And again, it's been my pleasure, and thank you very much.
When I asked him about friends that he had that he would say everything to, speak, who was the most intimate friend, he said you.
Well, yeah. I've known him for 10 years and we've been married for 7. John's changed quite a lot, I think, in the last 10 years. As personally, he's gone through a lot of changes.
What sort of changes?
Well, I think he used to be a lot more self-destructive than he is now.
Teacher, one more time, and that's it. No more school.
No kids here.
Teacher wants to sing.
Okay.
Brian again said he should become a classical type of composer.
Well, he's
in the future.
classically trained.
Right, exactly.
So I think that comes out as opposed to you know, maybe doing another rock and roll album, yeah, this seemed more necessary.
Yeah. Now that last note, there's still one boy who's singing a B flat at the beginning of it instead of an A flat. I hope his face is red. The copy I've just been given is not quite the same as the
You've
one
got to go talk to that cameraman, the guy with the cable there.
And boys, bar 87-ish, 88, 89.
Where's the cable? Get the cable away from those mics there that are against the wall.
I think we better give it a run first, with a view to memorising it as we go along. After two, one, two.
Good men the lost way by. Crying how bright.
Carry on.
Their melodies rise and dancing on evening.
Yes, and I think we'll do it again to get everybody precisely together. How is only a quaver.
Somebody's hitting that mic.
I hope I shan't dismantle all the equipment.
We're recording here, so we've got to do something about this.
Hello, where do I put that now? Got some hairs here.
That's all right, we don't mind a couple of hairs.
Attach it to my hairs, please. Now it's got to be even more crisp and tidy. Crying, 2, 3, 4, how bright.
Here we go then.
Liven up, chaps. Imagine there's some fresh air.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Okay, molto ritmico.
Okay, dog, here it comes.
Good men the lost way by. Crying how bright. Their melodies mind of dawn.
Fuck!
Sorry, nobody's fault. Somebody touched the mic stand.
Don't want any spontaneous combustion. Read it in the paper, can't you? Chorister bursts into flames in hot studio.
Okay, then.
All in the day's work, right? Now be prepared for the first entry again, and this might well be the finished product, so make it the best.
Ready?
Good men the lost way by. Crying how bright. Their melodies minds of dancing on midday. Rage at the dying of the light.
Let's do it again. One more. There's nothing to be done. I mean, there's no... The worries, I mean, there's a certain amount of disappointment because it doesn't seem that the piece is anything more than what it was originally. That is, I've not been able to make any heroic statement with the music, that it was all there. And as such, I can't play a larger-than-life role in the recording of it.
What might you do yet? Well, I'm going to leave, and let me know when you're done.
I think the songs worked on their own, and now they eventually have to end up to be what they are. And I suppose that what I'm talking about is that there is no hoopla about it anymore. It's the end of a process. What the piece doesn't have, obviously, is a lead vocal. That is an expressive performance of the poetry.
Onward, Christian soldiers.
This song is going to be really difficult.
You think so?
John thinks it's really easy. I think it's very hard to make it not sound flippant.
Ah, I see where you're coming from.
Flippancy is the curse of the 20th century.
The wise men at their end, no dark is right.
Shall we just actually go to that verse?
Yeah.
Because the first one's fine.
The wise men at their end.
No dark is right. Yeah, think of that all as one line.
No, yeah.
Because their words had forked, no
the
lightning.
they do
Yes.
not. Yeah. The wise men at their end, no dark is right. Because their words are...
It sounds like you're trying to make it too musical, if you know what I mean. It's sort of putting inflections in the words that maybe you don't need to do. Don't point that at me. Sorry.
The wise men at their end, no dark is right, because their words had forked. No lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night.
It seems to me you always get off on the wrong foot in every verse by starting your first line too soon.
Are any of the other verses all right?
I don't think so, no. I think, well, in fact, Good Men, the Last Wave, that was good on this one. But the really difficult one, actually, is that, and you, my father.
It should be, and you, my father, there on the side.
That's right, that's what I want to hear.
Oh. Avanti. The wise men at their end, no dark is right, because their words had forked. Oh, bugger!
I just hear it more lilting.
I
don't
know,
if I'm
I
singing
can't,
it.
I'm like mired in this, because their words had forked.
Can I sing it to you over the track? We'll play the track. Yeah. So I want him out for this.
The wise men, their end,
no
dark is right,
because their words had forked, no lightning. Okay, yeah, again.
Sorry. When I hear that vocal back, I'm hearing it in echo and it's out of sync.
Is it? Oh dear, well that doesn't help.
The wise men at their end, no dark is right, because their words had forked, no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night.
There, that's it. You got it now. I suggest we leave this song.
All right.
And go to another one.
All right.
I think you might, when you hear this again, want to brush up one or two things, but it's a bit tiring to do that, I think.
Okay. Oh, we do wedding?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
Too late, the wrong rain. They come together, their love parted. And the windows pour into their heart, and the doors burn in their brain.
That's a better brain, isn't it, there?
When they come together, and their love had parted, the windows and doors burn in their brain, burn in their brain. That was nice. It's flat, but it's nice. Burn in their brain, burn in their brain, burn in their brain. It's a really bad brain right there. Burn in their brain right there. Now their love lies a loss, and love and his patience roar on a chain. Every true or crater carrying cloud, death strikes their house, death strikes their house, death strikes their house, death strikes them.
Just play the last verse. That last verse was really very, very nice. On the second line of that, you sounded very croaky, but it sort of seemed to fit. So, do you want to hear that?
No.
Well, I think that's a complete take, probably.
Wow. Amazing. Great.
Okay, Okay, now go back to the top. It's okay.
You're not.
Aha, you thought you could get away with that one, did you? I warned you about this. I'll chuck you out. The only thing I hope you include in this film is all the times I've turned to you and said, keep that bloody camera off me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't film me, please. I'm not in a very good mood, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry. Please don't tell me you're doing that, please. Since the summer. Yeah. 17.
What's that mean?
18. Bloody liar. I can see a camera focus position from 100 yards.
Cool. What's the score, Ref?
Well, I suppose the fact that my mother bought me the Velvet Underground record by mistake, and my mother asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I asked her for a record, an underground record. I said, I want an underground record. My mother took me very literally, went to the record store, and said to the person, I want an underground record. And when I opened my present on my birthday, what I found I'd been given was White Light, White Heat. I'd never heard of the Velvet Underground. I didn't know what it was. I mean, after that, I just sort of followed them on the separate careers, you see. Every member went off on a separate career, and obviously I was interested in that. And now I'm just going to be as interested in him as I was when my mother brought me that Velvet Underground album. Because John Cale doesn't play around in the middle of the road. He either does it or he doesn't do it.
That's something that happens when you come back to where you were brought up. It's just, I can't talk about that kind of understanding of where I come from, because I don't have an understanding. It's like a blind side. The big city was always where I wanted to go, because it seemed that the bustle and everything else was really important. That hey, I don't want to miss a thing of what's going on anywhere. But then when I land back here, it's something that sort of wraps itself around you. That says that makes you kind of in a hole again.
Like 5 years ago, like every house was for sale.
Yeah.
And now that's not true.
Thanks goodness for set by your teeth.
Cale? Popeth yn iawn? Ie, gadwch nhw mewn. Okay, right.
So the
I'm due to go see Mama and have her sign these papers.
Yes. Now then, there's a contract here which I think you're to sign. Sign down there. And then this is the actual conveyance which you're to sign here. This as well.
No, I really don't want her to see this. I mean, this is a standard form. This is a bill of sale.
Well, yeah, so it's called a conveyance here. It's
So she would recognize it if she saw that.
Well, she might
that
do, yeah.
page. Yes,
Yeah.
so if I should keep it
Yes.
wrapped like this. Okay, and then she signs here.
That's right.
All right, we'll stop here. I'll get out and walk so they
Okay.
don't get excited.
All right, go ahead.
Rhaid chi sgrifennu i fi fan hyn. Rhaid chi ddod eich enw lawr fan hyn. Drws nesa I fi. Dyrwch eich enw lawr fan hyn drws nesa I fi. Newydd oedd Tracy Phillips yr o'i. Oedd e'n gofyn I fi gael ofn eich Margaret Cale fan'na. A dan y enw I fan hyn.
Dim ond letters, yw e?
Ie, da, sgrifennwch eich enw. Newy, Margaret Cale.
Margaret Cale yna.
Rwy'ch chi sgrifennu M.
Rwy'ch
Cale.
ein fan hyn. A ni gyd yn barod yn ôl I garnant.
A mae'n ffein I chi mynd nôl.
A mae'r plant sydd fyna. They'll come to help you.
O ie.
Yes.
Dych chi'n enw fi?
Yes. Mrs. yw e?
No, mae'n alright.
Margaret Cale.
Ie.
Wel, dwi'n fawr I wneud ydyn.
Dych chi'n meddwl? Ie? Dwi'n meddwl bod i'n
Sa'n gwneud fi gael cofio yna. A fi lan yn wneud eto, chwer.
Dych chi'n neud e?
Margaret.
C. Na fe. Diolch yn fawr. Alright, dyma. Wel, eich mynd wrthnos. Alright, de. A fi nawr. Yeah, the coal mine entrance was about here. My father would walk down to here every day from the house to where the coal mine was here. So where that sign is on the right is the house. That's the old school. It's my primary school.
under the mile of moon. We tremble listening to the sea sound flowing like blood from the loud wound. And when the salt ship broke in a storm of singing, the voices of all the drowned sang on the wind.
Of Falkland, we shall obey. Now, with 4 days left, that there is that, in my experience, anyway, with my records, that's when I've sort of okay, that's it. Knowing that it's very difficult to cut that chord, I've just done it too fast in the past, and it's not something that I want to happen again.
I was very pleased with the orchestra in Russia, and I'm still thrilled by the sound of them.
You know, that whole thing about the two separate things that when you put them together give you a third that's not there, I don't have that.
I like the music even better than I did when I started, and I liked it a lot then.
I don't think I've pushed Brian far enough either.
He is wacky enough to come up with very interesting ideas quite outside of the normal.
You know, why are these the words suited for this?
And I have the quality of attention to make them work.
So, Brian, after all the struggles that you and I have been through, do you think this could still be an interesting film at the end?
I can't think of a way in which it could, but I'm not a documentary maker.
Did you ever play hooky and come up here?
On a bike, yeah. You just you'd leave around 11 o'clock in the morning, get here about 1, and then climb up.
So from your house that you showed me, the one that's for sale?
Yeah, which is roughly over there, roughly beyond there. That's the Black Mountain.
Why don't we really start the discussion now?
Yeah, we are.
Now we have the chance.
I asked you all to come here
So I
to
told him
talk
that
about
whatever they said, I'd show you the
what's
tape.
the difference between John now and the way you perceived him earlier. I've known John only for a very short time.
First of all, I was standing in the front, and of course, I don't know, I saw John Cale in Paradiso maybe
5 years.
I don't know, 5 years ago. And it used to be an explosion of feelings that came from the stage. So he would have total silence, and then he would build up the emotions during the songs, and then at the end it would be a cascade of sound. And it wasn't similar in no way.
I sense that he's trying to survive, and in the way he's repeating himself now, I think it's a way of survival. And he changed directions, but not in his music, and maybe he should.
Yeah, but now he has something to lose in life as well. Now he has a child.
Those observations are very cogent. I mean, there's a very fair comment there about, well, maybe it's time to regroup and make sure that you can do this for another 20 years. I think there are more intense and poignant ways of doing things. I mean, they're. I don't feel that I have to provide that that gargoylish sense of entertainment anymore. I mean, there are other things. They may not be as vivacious as having a band and being a rock and roller, but that's this. So it's another story, and it's a different. Okay, good.
line is torn across this ragged anniversary of two who moved for 3 years into down the long walks of their vows. Now their love lies lost. Love and his patience roar on a chain. Every true or crater carrying cloud. Death strikes their house, death strikes their house, death strikes their house again. Too late. The wrong rain. They come together whom their loves parted, and the windows pour into their heart, and the doors burn in their brain. When they come together whom their love had parted, the windows and the doors burn in their brain, burn in their brain, burn in their brain, burn in their brain, burn in their brain. Now their love lies a loss, and love and his patience roar on a chain. Every true crater carrying cloud.
Death strikes their house. Death strikes their house. Death strikes their house. Death strikes them.